Hi, everyone.
Hey,
Welcome to the White Hatter YouTube News Show Update Show.
Darren here.
And Brandon.
Kind of taking a little bit of a respite from the 4 days that we just did, eh?
Yes, we just finished our
Woo!
4-day free online parent
Yeah,
training webinar
it
for
was
back
good.
to school.
It
Yeah,
was good. I enjoyed it.
it was fun.
We had a lot of good feedback from people that were following us as well, right? So yeah. So for those of you that who signed up for it, don't forget for the next 7 days you have the ability to watch all sessions that we did. It was a total of just over 8 hours, right?
Yeah, about 8 hours worth of content,
Yeah.
free online
Ooh.
webinar content.
Ooh, I just about broke my cup.
Oh, no.
Because this is a cup that JDJJ1212, one of our followers, sent me.
Yes,
Yeah, it was
they
a nice
did.
cup, nice cup. Just about broke it. I don't
Oh,
want to do
no.
that. Yeah, I don't want to do it. But it was just over 8 hours, right?
Yeah, and yeah, we filled all the seats. And
We did.
Yeah, we
And
did.
we added more because there were more people
We were able
interested,
to add
right?
a couple more, yes.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. So
Yeah, so hopefully we can do more of those in the future.
congratulations to the second set. That was our debut
Yeah, I
of
guess
the
it
second
was
set.
the debut set number 2.
It was.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job on the technology. It was basically flawless for us over the 2 days. We had to fine tune some of the sound on it, but other than that, it was flawless.
Yes.
Flawless.
It was fun being able to play with set number 2.
Yeah, credit to you, right, in the work that you've done putting this all together. I mean,
Yeah.
we kind of been doing it for 2 years. I mean, i.e., what we do now in the show, but it was just kind of cool how you were able to bring in a second set, plus more cameras, more lights, more hardware, more software. It was like CNN News.
Yeah, it was kind of like that.
Yeah, kind of thing.
Well, let's get into some updates.
Yeah.
Updates from us. For those of you who follow us here on YouTube and subscribe to us, if not, please subscribe. We really appreciate it. Is our Thinkable Thursday interview with Sue, author of Shame Nation.
Yeah, it was a great interview, great book. We talked about we talk about this with teens now about some of the issues about shaming, right, and how the internet and social media is used to shame. Sometimes for good, sometimes for bad. But we had a really good discussion on that and cancel culture.
Yeah.
So make sure you check it out. It's on our YouTube channel that you're watching us on right now, right? So check it out. It's a great interview and it's free, costs you nothing.
Link will be down below in the description.
Hey, by the way, I'm looking forward to the next couple of Thinkable Thursdays coming up. I've got one coming with a doctor who is an ER doc and an epidemiologist as well, right? When I heard that, I thought, you study bugs? No, it's the study of like disease and all that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
And we're going to be talking about COVID-19. We've had a number of parents connect with us asking us, is this true? Is this true? Is this true? And I'm no medical doctor, but I know a number who kind of specialize in this area. So we thought, let's invite her on the show. Let's ask parents to send us questions, which they did, that I can ask her. So we got that one that will be coming up. And then another one I got coming up was on a new book written by a lawyer in the United States who's also a mother on sharenting or oversharing. We kind of talked about that on our 4 days. So she's actually written a book on it. Really looking into that interview as well. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel that you're on right now. Don't forget to hit that
subscribe button.
Hit that subscribe. Ding!
And along with that, we released a new blog about getting families and homes ready for an online 2021 school year.
Yeah, you know what? A lot of lessons learned when we were thrown into the emergency online education that happened when COVID hit, where all the schools were shut down. A lot of lessons learned by educators, teachers, schools, and the students themselves. So we listened, and what we did was we put together our thoughts on lessons learned so that this new school year, there's some schools that are going back full-time, there's some that are going on back only part-time, there are some schools not going back at all, there's some schools adopting a hybrid. So I still think that we're going to probably end up doing some online stuff. So if your kids are going to be doing online learning, then it's important that you set your home up properly from a privacy security standpoint, but also from a learning perspective to enhance learning. That's what that article is all about. And we spoke about this on day 1 during our 4-day event we just hosted, right? And am I correct that what we're going to do is we're going to take that one component of it and kind of massage it or cut it so that we can put it on YouTube for everybody to see?
That is the plan. So go ahead with that. Look for that on the channel as well.
Yeah, excellent. And hopefully we'll have that up and going before school starts, right? Yeah. So yeah, good.
Let's go do some news topics.
In the news.
First new topic has to do with Netflix.
Yeah.
In regards to a new video they've released and some controversy around it.
Yeah, this won a major award. I think it was at Sundance, if I'm not mistaken. It's from France. It's a French-produced film, creating a lot of controversy. primarily over the hypersexualization of youth, right? And this one was specific to those who identify as female, but it applies to males as well, right? It doesn't matter, right? And you brought that to my attention. You're absolutely right, right? It's gender neutral on this issue, but it was about this African French girl who decided to join a dance group. She was 11 and take up and do a whole thing on twerking and it's so the issue now is, and we spoke about it in our 4-day event. I think it was on day 1 as well, where one of the issues that we're seeing is really the hypersexualization of youth at younger ages and how it's becoming more like predominant than it ever did, and should we be doing that? So lots of controversy over this. I do think that, you know, the clips, the advertising that they had, because it hasn't been out yet, so people can't really speak to it. We've seen clips of it, but what caused a lot of the controversy was the poster that they put up to advertise it and how hypersexualized the poster was. And I do think that that's something that we as parents need to be alive to. Another reason why we need to be talking to our kids about, you know, hypersexualization. What is it? How do we combat it? You know, all those things. So yeah. So yeah.
Okay, so next news story is from Google in regards to Gmail and G Suite. So apparently,
what happened
here is apparently a researcher had discovered a flaw in the entire Gmail G Suite area. So anyone who had a company who hosted their emails through Google, so your name at company.com and all gmail.coms, there was a flaw that could allow an outside attacker to mimic someone's email and pretend to be them.
Well, that's an issue. Now, did she bring this to the attention of Google?
Yeah, so this was discovered back in April.
April, May, June, July, August.
Okay. Now, after 137 days, the researcher decided to post the flaw publicly on their website, supposedly because they believed it was too long of a response.
Well, I think so. So, you know, this is interesting, right? Because there are some people who do this type of work that once they find the flaw, they just publicly post it out without letting the vendor know heads up. Well, this person, she did the right thing ethically and morally, right? Like she identified the flaw and then she brought it to the attention of Google and they sat on it for 137 days.
I mean, apparently it was because I don't know why they were wanting to make it at a later date. Apparently it was planned for September's update.
It's Gmail. Like everything is done by Gmail. It's fairly important. Like I don't want people taking over my Gmail account, right? So
it's more so not so taking over. It's more so mimicking who you are.
Oh, it's kind of the same thing when you think about it, right? So did she go public with it?
Yeah. So on the website they posted it onto the website, and Google fixed the issue within 7 hours.
Go figure, right? Because they were embarrassed. I mean, there's a good example of public shaming that I think is reasonable, right? Like
that
this
makes sense.
To me,
not doing their due diligence.
This is to me a big deal. It's Gmail, right? Like everybody has a Gmail account. Everything you sign, like they can mimic you. Like this makes perfect sense. And so why the company, once it was brought to their attention, didn't deal with it right away is beyond me. I mean, I know there's a lot of other important things in the world going on right now. I get it, but Gmail, that's pretty significant, right? And if it wasn't as important as they thought it was, then why did they all of a sudden, once it became public, fix it within 7 hours? Did you say, or 7 days?
7 hours they fixed it once it became public on the website.
So in April, when she brought it to their attention, in 7 hours it could have fixed the problem.
Apparently.
Go figure.
Anyways.
Did you know that Google removed "Do No Harm" from their "Do No Evil"? Right?
Oh, did they remove that?
Yeah,
when was that?
They removed it when it was taken over by new management, right? Because remember, their byline used to say "Do No Evil" or something like that. Yeah. They got rid of that. Yeah. Anyways, just thought.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know.
I guess because evil in legal terms is subjective.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess that would be the issue that they would.
Well, maybe they could have changed it to "Do Good." Or something.
I guess good is a subjective term in a legal sense.
Oh my
What's
God,
good?
you freaking academics.
I'm just saying, in a court of law, like how do you... Anyways, it's going on. Article and report and interview you did in regards to extortionists using nude images of individuals, men and women, in Surrey, police warn.
Yeah, you know what? This is an article that was in the news in Surrey, British Columbia, how they said, you know, during COVID, they've seen an anecdotal increase in the number of nudes that were being sent and then used for the purpose of extortion, right? Yeah. This doesn't surprise us. We have seen an anecdotal spike in this, both for adults as well as youth, no doubt about it. And so CKNW, the Linda Steele Show, connected with us because they know that we kind of have an expertise in this area and wanted just to talk to us about, what were our thoughts on this and what were some of the things that we could do to help counter what is going on. There were some people that were saying, oh, just don't send nudes. Well, yeah, we can preach abstinence all we want. Really, you spoke about it in the 4 days event, right?
Yeah, in regards to teens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, kind of thing. So, but great interview. It's always a good heads up. Just remember that once you hit that send button, there is no pulling it back, right? And it can be used either in a positive or a negative way. So just be aware of that.
Will be down below in the description.
Check it out.
But I mean, it's not just in Surrey where this is happening.
No.
Coincidentally, in the news article in the last couple of weeks, in regards to an Australian actress who has fallen victim to similar issues where their phone was hacked, images were kind of released, and they're working with their law firm and investigators to help deal with the issue. So, I mean, it can happen to anyone of any age, any fame as well.
Yeah, as soon as you hit that send button, it could become public, permanent, searchable,
but not even if you send it. It could also be if you take a picture and then you just save it onto your phone.
Oh, good. And somebody gets in your phone, right? You lend your phone to somebody to use. It's already unlocked. You haven't secured the pictures in a locked app on your phone so people can see it. And once they see it, they go, oh, there's a nude of Brandon. Let's send this to everybody else.
More commonly, the issues that I see with hackers, per se, is that they will access people's online backups.
Yeah.
That's the more common way.
You mean the cloud?
The cloud.
The cloud. Hey, people think the cloud is this magical place up in the air where it just kind of hangs out and stuff. What is the cloud?
Big, giant buildings of servers that host all our data.
In fact, we've seen a couple when we've been traveling, right? Like we saw a Microsoft server farm down in Washington State, right? So the cloud is not this magical kind of thing that it's up there with unicorns and fairies. It does have a physical location. Yeah, that's true. And because it has a physical location, it now means it potentially has vulnerability. Yeah, there you go.
More on the topics of sexualization and images. This article that you have posted to the new show.
During the 4-day event, we spoke about sharing. Or oversharing, which is most important. And these are things that we parents never really thought about, right? Like because my parents didn't have the internet or social media, so they couldn't learn. So our generation of parenting, me, the boomers, we have been learning with the millennials, right? As social media, internet started to grow and stuff, and so with the overposting, with the tagging of pictures now, it becomes very searchable. And these are things we never thought about. So what happened in this case was this mother posted this picture of her daughter, very cute, into her social media that was public. And so this picture made its way into a pedophile talk group. And so these pedophiles were talking about this picture and stuff. And she had no idea about it, right? And how it was being used and how it was being juxtaposed online by pedophiles, right? And so these are things that a lot of parents don't know about and that you need to be aware about, and why we got to be very careful about what we're posting about our kids online, because we're creating digital dossiers of them that are becoming very searchable. And so this was just a really good example, one of many that we spoke about in our webinar that we did on this topic to kind of bring this to light. I'm not saying that parents shouldn't post things about their kids online. It's what they're posting, how they're posting it. And once kids are old enough to understand consent, get permission from your child first. Right? Because it's also interesting, if you remember, we asked parents, how many of you would like your kids posting stuff about, and I would think it was 86% of parents said, no, we don't like it when our kids post stuff about us in their social media platforms. Hello, parents! What's good for the goose should be good for the gander. So it's an interesting article. It's kind of ugly to a degree, but it's something that we parents need to know about, and you can find it on our Facebook page. Yeah. Right? Our Facebook. And what's our Facebook page?
White Hatter Team.
White Hatter Team. Check it out. Check it out.
Link again will be down below to the article.
Yeah.
Interesting news research report from my little circles of security and intelligence gathering is...
you love this stuff, don't you?
I mean,
you love this stuff. When you found this, you sent me a message going, Dad, you got it. This is cool.
I mean, okay. Security researchers out of the University of Singapore have devised a mathematical equation to basically, you put a key into a physical lock based on the tumbler pins. Getting a phone microphone close enough, you can kind of reconstruct and reverse engineer the key layout and then 3D print the key to get access to a door.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
this is Mission Impossible stuff.
It is. But
Copyright.
so they used a smartphone, right?
Yeah, smartphone.
Okay. So in order to pick up the sound of that in a key, you would think that the phone would have to be like this close to the lock, right?
Yes.
Just say, okay. So just saying, if I was putting my key in a lock and somebody came up and went, just a second, with their phone, don't you think I'd be going,
I mean,
what the hell?
Especially now, given physical distancing, yes. I mean,
but even if it wasn't physical distancing, let's think about. Okay, Brennan, if you were going in your home and and somebody walked up to you and you didn't know them and took their phone and go, just a second, just before you put your key into the key lock, put it next to the lock, wouldn't you be going, what the hell?
I mean, yes. With stipulation, the research says yes. Given the microphone they use and all that stuff, you have to be fairly close to the lock to get any kind of reading.
Okay.
I mean.
But it's still like Mission Impossible cool.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they stated with a better microphone, more directional, you can get further away. I mean, if you're a spy agency with unlimited dollars, cough, the other agencies, with like powerful microphones, maybe you could do it a little further.
But I agree with you. It is kind of like Mission Impossible cool. It is. It's kind of Mission Impossible cool, right? It is.
Anyway,
kind of, but interesting.
Physical security.
Look at the math they use down there. Like,
I don't even know how it happened. I just know that it's cool.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right. It is
with
Mission
more
Impossible.
money, better microphones. Maybe you can bang it a little further away.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Anyways,
I mean, yeah.
I thought
it was cool. It was funny. It was funny. It was funny when you found it and contacted me and said, "Dad, you gotta see this." Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Spotify. So, Spotify.
Okay, what's Spotify?
It's a new music streaming platform.
Okay.
So you subscribe to it. You have
like iTunes.
Like iTunes music. Yes.
Okay.
Or music. I don't know.
Because I'm an Apple guy, right?
Yeah. So you use Apple streaming music platform.
I do.
You pay monthly. You get unlimited access to the library.
I don't. You actually get it. You get it for me every year as a Christmas gift.
Yes, that's true. So Spotify went down the other day.
But although I use it as a Christmas gift, you also use it, don't you?
True.
So did you actually buy it for me or did you buy it for you?
Moving on. So Spotify went down the other day. And apparently it was due to they forgot to renew one of their security certificates.
It's called diary dating, people.
I mean, so I just wanted to share this because when you think about it, a big, massive company like Spotify went down. Not because of some hack or anything, because someone just forgot to renew a certificate.
Like a lot of, oh my God. Anyways, it's called diary dating. We kind of do that as a company. A lot of services that we sign up for, they automatically renew anyways, unless we pick otherwise, right? Like it's like, hello. But you're right, big business. Right?
Anyways,
so they went dark?
Yeah, they had issues and service issues, and apparently because of
so they weren't hacked.
They weren't hacked. No.
It was a human.
It was a human error. So even big companies like Spotify can have issues because of human error on the inside.
Yeah. Okay.
Updates with some web browsers. Microsoft Edge, which is Windows replacement to Internet Explorer.
It's what?
It's Windows.
It's what?
Windows?
What's Windows?
Oh, boy.
I'm an Apple guy. What can I say? Anyways, go ahead.
Anyways, it's Microsoft's alternative.
He hates it when I do that. Because now, just before we, I'm gonna suck back a little bit. Doing the show that we're doing right now, we're using a Windows-based computer, right?
Yes, and when we do streaming, it's all Windows-based.
Okay. So, anyways, what's going on with Microsoft Edge?
Adding a new update feature that's a built-in price matching or price finding mechanic. So
like Honey,
like Shopbot, like all those other platforms.
Yeah.
So you search for something online, you find a price. Apparently, it will auto find you better prices on the internet.
Okay, I'm always suspicious of big vendors, right? You know me.
Yes.
Where's my hat? Do I have my tinfoil hat?
I don't think I have tinfoil hat.
What's to stop Microsoft from changing their algorithm AI on this so that potentially it benefits products that they're hosting through their networks so that they get a cut of it? I mean, I'm always suspicious when big companies like this try to edge out smaller companies like Honey and some of the others. I mean, we see this going on with Boomerang right now, right? Where Google is trying to prevent Boomerang, which is a parent monitoring filtering software, off of their store because they themselves now have a product that they're trying to push. So could that not be an issue?
I guess, but I guess you look at the benefit to the end consumer. If you get a better price on a product, isn't that the objective?
Is this up and going right now?
I don't believe so. I think it's an upcoming feature.
You know what would be interesting is for somebody to kind of compare this feature and do Honey at the same time. Or ShopBot. Do all three at the same time. Right? Pick a product, whatever the product is, and try all three and see which one always comes back with the cheaper price. Just saying.
Interesting.
That might be a nice little project from somebody out there who's watching right now. And whatever you find, get back to us. And if you get back to us and find that there's a real big difference, let us know and we give you full credit.
Yeah.
We'll give you full credit on this show, right? But it'll be interesting to do that. That's the first thing that came to my mind just now. I know that I have a boomer mind, and I know that you make fun of my boomer mind sometimes, but don't you think that makes sense?
Makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Update feature for Chrome.
Okay, just before you go on, that looks like the all-seeing eye.
Well, it is Google. So Chrome users, apparently updates coming up in Chrome will allow the platform to warn users if they're entering information into an insecure form on the website.
Okay, but Safari does that for me all the time now.
I'm assuming you're talking about like the security encryption. Like most browsers now, you go to an unencrypted website, it'll give you a warning.
Yeah, it gives me a warning.
So you can still visit an encrypted website,
right,
but still enter personal sensitive information in an open, unsecured form.
Oh.
Like for example, this is what hackers will do sometimes. They will make a website.
Yeah, I see.
They will secure it for free with free encryption software, which exists now. Yeah. And then so your website detects the website as, oh, it's safe. But they'll have a form, maybe like a Google form or something, that it's asking for your passwords. You put your password in, not knowing it's unsecured, and then the hacker gets your password. So, interesting feature in Chrome for privacy and security conscious
the
individuals.
all-seeing eye.
I mean, it is Google.
Well, if you look at it, it kind of looks like if you look at the dollar bill, the American dollar bill,
yeah.
right? And you look in the back of it, at the top of the pyramid, they have the all-seeing eye.
Yeah.
And it also looks like the all-seeing eye that was in Lord of the Rings. In the Dark Tower.
Okay.
Just saying.
Okay.
Just saying.
And last article for today is the University of Utah hit by ransomware and pays $457,000 to the ransom person.
Yeah, we're seeing this. This is more often than not where they're going after big institutions like hospitals, universities, right? Big companies. Yeah. And it still surprises me that large educational institutions like this are getting hit like this, right? You would be thinking that they would be hiring pen testers to do testing on penetration on things like this, right?
Well, here's the thing. They work with their insurance company, and their insurance company paid for it. Yeah. So, I mean, like, what's the incentive for you to... I mean, I'm just thinking, like, if you're a company, you have I'm assuming the premiums are going to go up next year.
Do you figure?
It's like, oh, you were hacked last year. You're going to pay more for your insurance. I'm assuming.
Figure?
That's how it works. And then, I guess in the short term, it's cheaper. But in the long term, it's going to cost you more and more.
Yeah, just, a lot of times companies have a habit of going internal to have their own people do their own pen testing. But it's like, when I write an article and I'm trying to proof my article, I always like to send it to somebody else to proof because you will have your own biases when you're reading the article, right? Well, when it comes to this type of an issue with regards to security and penetration, to me, especially for larger organizations like this, it just seems reasonable to me that you would look to hire an external company to do a pen test on your network to help prevent that from happening. I'm not saying that their own experts aren't good at what they do. They probably are, but like it or not, they have bias, right, with respect to what they're doing. True. Right? So
it makes sense, and also, but I guess it comes from a cost-benefit analysis. Like you hire a company to pen test you to see what the issues are. If there's any issues, they may come up with nothing, and then it's like, oh, okay,
money well spent. But now I bet you the premiums they're going to pay for their insurance now is going to be far greater than what they would have paid to have a pen test come in and do some testing on, just to do some testing on their network. Just saying.
Yeah.
Who am I? I'm but a mere cosmic crouton in the salad bowl of life.
Okay.
No, I'm a digital crouton in the salad bowl of life.
A little tiny bit.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. You know what was interesting was I was watching a show the other day, like on Discovery Channel,
Mm-hmm.
and they were zooming in on close on skin, and they could see the capillaries, right, and at the micro level. And it reminds me that when I'm flying in an airplane and I look down, and you can see like rivers, and it looks almost identical. Things that make you go, hmm. Just saying. We are but
Where did that come from?
we are but mere cosmic croutons in the salad bowl of life. That's how I want to end the show.
So on that note, we're going to end the show now. From myself, Brandon.
And the cosmic crouton, Darren.
Thank you for joining us. Hopefully you learned something, and we'll see you again next week. Here
Oh, just before we get going, hey, what the viewers don't see is on top of the camera now, we have Jar Jar Binks. We have a little Jar Jar Binks right on top of the video camera, because that's what we try to focus on now.
Yes.
Jar Jar Bink. Jar Jar Bink.
For those of you who are still with us, thank you. We'll see you again next week.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.